What's going on, everybody? My name is Rex, and this is your daily chat. What the hell is going on over here? Yeah, what's going on, guys? My name is Rex. This is your daily chat, episode 159. I guess, don't really think they're going to call it an After Dark episode, really, because I don't know what number it would be. But yeah, guys, what's going on? How you guys been? So, a few days late to the party on this one, but I just want to point out, I was right. After all the naysayers and all the little social justice warrior hippies and crap I had to deal with in my channel, I was right. Trump won. You're welcome, America. It feels so good, not that Trump won, but just to be vindicated that, well, my viewers are idiots and I am smart. So there you guys go. Not saying I'm the smartest person alive, that's for you to say, but just saying that, you know, you guys don't know as much as you think you do. So that's the difference between smart people and people who think they're smart. Is one of us is right, the other one is, well, wrong. But yeah, how you guys been though? What's going on, man? I just came off of streaming actually the new game Tyranny from Paradox Interactive, the people who make Magicka and Stellaris and all these other games. And I just finished playing that game, and like, it's an hour in. If you actually like read everything and you read it like a normal person's pace, not like some like I speed read. Hang on.
I speed read through the thing. Like, I'm a quick reader. Like, I was reading at a collegiate level at like ECS.
Unless you're like that kind of person and you just take your time, it takes about an hour to get through all the story parts. Okay, great story, fantastic story. Probably the worst combat system I've ever seen in a video game. And mind you, they do their best to give you like tutorials and teach you how the combat system works, but it was just so incredibly frustrating to try and deal with. I absolutely hated the fact that we were playing and we were doing a fine job like going through the story and everything, and then I got to the combat. Dude, I made it through 2 battles and I'm like, screw it, I'm out. I'm not gonna bother. And for those of you wondering why I just looked up, it's because we are also simulcasting on beam.pro. So if you don't like Twitch or you find Twitch a little bit too laggy, you can always go to beam.pro/lilrex2015, or, you know, you can just take it from the title and join us there, where they have much quicker response times and interactivity. But yeah, it was really disappointing. I was really looking forward to playing Tyranny, and like I was praying it was going to be great, it was going to be, you know, solid, and nope, that's not what I got. Instead, what I got was an incredibly clunky mess of a game that just made me a little bit sad. While lots of games have good story but bad gameplay, like Undertale, I would not play Undertale only because I hate the graphic style of it. Yes, I care about graphics. No, that does not make me a bad person. Yes, I am shallow and vain. That's why there's a picture of a bikini girl behind me. And in front of me, too. But yes, no, I totally agree. Like, lots of games have very good stories, but very poor gameplay. It's a very common thing to have. I'm just really sad because, like, Magicka was awesome. Stellaris was okay. But this was like, you know, their ARPG. It was supposed to be like, they pitched it as an ARPG. Apparently, it's actually like a CRPG. I don't know what the hell the C stands for. But yeah, it was not fun to play. But I was having a blast just reading the story. Like, that could be a game on its own. Just if they had built it like a Telltale game, that would have been awesome. It should have been built by like a Telltale game, not as an RPG game, because it is not an RPG by any stretch of the imagination. But if you've played Tyranny though, man, let me know, because, well, hell, I'm very curious to find out what you guys think. But yeah, I spent an hour playing that, and I'm like, you know, it's 2 in the morning. I took a Rockstar right before I went on air to play that, so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do a daily chat, because, you know, why not? Why is my camera so blurry all of a sudden there, Wilbur? What'd you do? Hang on. Let me get my camera fixed here. Don't know why my camera just went all of a sudden. Oh, that's why autofocus is on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Oh, Christ. I swear to God, Logitech. Your camera system is like the absolute god-awful worst. Just the worst. Advanced settings. Where the hell's focus? There we go. That's better. There we go. Yep. So here, finally, we got that fixed. So what was your question? So what brought on the smart versus dumb thing? Oh, I'm just making a joke that like after all the crap I went through from people coming in my channel debating politics and like, you know, telling me like, you know, you're an idiot, you don't know anything, like, you know, Hillary's the best, it's like Trump's gonna win. I called it last year when I heard all of the stuff like coming out. I could see the storm coming, and people would constantly come in here and like just berate me, and I'd have to put up with all this crap. And in the end, boom, Rex was right. Yeah, raise the roof. Oh, hang on, I got this. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, raise the roof. So yeah, it's like that. That's all. And it just feels so good to be vindicated. Repeat entry, man. Been a rough month, dude. Repeat entry, man. It has been a bitch of a month. So annoying. I've been on vacation, not vacation, sorry. We got Wednesday. Yeah, America's do not even say shit like that. You know why? Because you can't prove it. Here's the thing, okay, and this isn't like a you thing. This is a global, everybody on the planet of Earth thing. Okay? None of you know the details. Not a single one of you. Everything you know, you took from a mainstream media source. I know this because I know none of you know Donald Trump. Because if you did, I would be a lot richer than I am. Or I'd be actually not richer, but more famous than I am right now. Because I'd have people of power in my channel. None of you know it. Okay? You can't say America is screwed when you have like this much of information scope in a field about that large. You can't say things like that. Like, I had a person say, like, after they won, it's like, I came in, they're like, oh, well, Donald Trump won, oh, everybody's screwed. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? Hang on, I got something for this.
Like World War III?
Okay, listen here, you goddamn potato. You can't set off wars that simply. It doesn't work that way. What's up, Churgy? How you doing, man? You cannot set off wars like that. If that was the case, North Korea and China would have done it ages ago. It does not work that way at all. I'm not even a political scientist, but I'm definitely not retarded enough to think that you can launch a war just because you elected Donald Trump as your leader. And we're not talking about Trump per se. We're talking about like the scope of people's knowledge in thinking that they know everything about politics, Churchy. We're talking in the fact that everyone thinks that they're an expert in political science and everyone's an analyst and everyone thinks that they know what's going to happen. When, frankly, literally everybody who came into my channel for the last year was a complete and total potato and didn't understand anything and got it wrong. I'll focus on my little corner of the world. People vote what they vote. The system of government is built off a platform, not a person. Exactly. See there, you got it, repeat entry. That's exactly it. Just listen closely. And I mean this with the greatest amount of respect I can possibly say this. Because this is what I said about myself the night of the election. After the election happened, I went to the gym to go work out because, yes, I do care about it that much. And a girl looked at me. She's like, yeah, Donald Trump won. You probably don't care, do you? And she looked right at me. I'm like, listen, I am too poor, too small, and too insignificant for anything he does to have any bearing on me. And that's true for pretty much all of you on Twitch, like who aren't in the upper echelon of Twitch. That's pretty much all of you. Okay, like out of 150 million viewers that come through Twitch, that's like 149,900,000 and something odd thousand of you. So it's like everyone just needs to kind of take a chill pill and just let's see what happens. Considering he's not even literally the president yet, he's the president-elect. He's not even like passing things down yet. I have the biggest pet peeve when people who think they know. Oh, dude, Chirurgy, man. Dude, I know how you feel, brother. I know how you feel. It is the most annoying thing in the world. That and like people who think they know stock markets and finance and politicals and law. Oh, especially law. Oh, it's like, listen here, you potato. Just because it makes sense, that's not how the law works. If you the best way to approach legal edicts is if it makes sense in your mind that you shouldn't be allowed to do it, odds are that's not how the law is written. More than likely. America works off 3 parts: President, House, and Congress, all run by Republicans now. That still doesn't mean anything. That still doesn't mean, like, yes, they took the majority of the Senate. Yes, they took the majority of the House. No, that doesn't mean they're just going to launch the next war in Iran. Yeah, it's so cringy when they talk about it. Like, I want to punch their teeth. Dude, I get it, man. It's like, I look at, like, here's the thing. When I talk to people, I have one of 2 reactions. If I know you're smart enough and you're intellectually savvy enough to hold a conversation, to hold an argument like a civilized adult, and not get super mad and not get like your little like voice out, I am more than happy to have that conversation. But if you get really angry and really cringy and you're not willing to hear both sides, but you're willing to stick to your one little narrow, and by narrow, that's like the most generous word I could possibly think of, scope of the world, scope of the topic, you know what? Honestly, you don't deserve to have whatever you got. Like, your view more than likely is probably not going to be wrong, but sure as hell not going to be correct. That's just how that is. America doesn't debate anymore, it's sad. You're very right, Joe Dubs. America does not debate anymore, and that is very sad. And I wish Americans would debate more, because debate is how we grow as people. Debate is how we grow as a society. And it's something that people really do need to kind of learn to do again, but with an open mind. Even the realm of science, a field that is supposed to be built on open-mindedness in interpreting data as raw data sets, has become very narrowed and very like self-driven or motive-driven, where it's like, well, because listen, I'll openly admit, man, if I had to spend my life in the lab, I'd be trying to put my results out to the highest bidder. Absolutely, I would. Without fear of consequence, I would definitely be trying to sell my results off to the highest bidder. You want me to tell you sugar is the best thing for you? For what is it? I think the guy who lobbies for the sugar industry gets paid like $500,000 a year. I will tell you that sugar gives you X-ray vision and gives you tits like Superman. Absolutely, I would. You speak the truth, but let's move on to more fun stuff. Weed is legal now in Cali. Yeah, you know what? Well, and that's one thing people were telling. They're like, oh, I'm not going to go vote. Go vote, because there's more stuff than just the president at stake. And weed legalization was one of them. And good for you guys. In 2016, there was no reason that weed should not be legal. It's used by tons of people. It's not a secret. You know what? We all know it's there. And if these people want to kill themselves off, you know what? You go for it, champ. You want to smoke, you smoke. You want to vape, you vape. You want to do weed, you do weed. Look, all of them have the same level of craptasticness to your overall health anyway. Yes, they're all bad for you. Yes, I can back it up. No, I don't have the science here in front of me, but yes, I know it. But yeah, you know what? It's just one of those things, like, I'm glad you guys have it. I'm glad it won't be a punishable thing. Is it legal in Canada? If it's not like legal in Canada, it's decriminalized, meaning you can carry up to a certain amount of it on you before you get prosecuted. So I think you can carry up to like 5 grams on you without getting in trouble. Anything after 5 grams becomes intent to distribute, I believe is the term. Whoa, I see C4 on the shelf. Hell yeah, man. I got C4, I got dynamite, I got my fat burner, and I got my mammoth amino acids. But yeah, dude, I love my C4, man. I've been trying to get a C4 sponsorship for goddamn ever. And that rep is just a bitch to try and get a hold of. So yeah, but man, that's the whole thing, man. I would love to get a Cellucor sponsorship. Oh my god. Cellucor protein, Cellucor amino acids are so good. They are just delicious. But yeah, getting back to the weed thing, man. Now, I'm glad you guys can smoke it now. I know for a lot of people, it's going to help. For a lot of people with glaucoma, what is it? Glaucoma needs it. I think Parkinson's can use it for some stuff. People who have just generic pain can use it. Honestly, my best pre-workout, hell yeah. It makes everything safer and it's taxable. Safer is a very fluid term. That is not guaranteed at all. Taxable is absolutely. In fact, I know for a fact in Alberta, where I am, we're trying to legalize it. So I think it's decriminalized right now, but we're trying to get it legalized. And the government's like, oh, it's only going to pump $600 million into the economy. I'm sorry. How much money do you need exactly? $600 million is a hell of a lot of money, champ. It'll help with my anxiety. Yes, it'll help with anxiety. Banning it just makes it into an unregular market. Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's great, man. For people with anxiety, hell yeah. If you need help talking to a girl, weed is a great icebreaker, guys. Trust me. If you're in your mid-teens to like mid-20s and you're having trouble like talking to a girl a little bit at a club, you know, a baggie can get you pretty far down her pants. So just keep that in mind. I just want you guys to always remember that. So yeah, there is that, man. But I'm glad, like, I hope you guys, like, I know that the election didn't go with the way a lot of people wanted, but for the love of God, don't protest. It's funny because Stephen Colbert showed protests happening outside his building, not for him, but they just happened to be passing through the street. And it's like protesting an election that's already been that has already had the results counted. It's kind of like putting up a change.org petition. It is literally not going to do a damn thing. People are going to look at it, people are going to laugh at it, and then people are just going to ignore it. Legalize it now and work on education, its use. Most of the fears are due to misuse and misinformation. Yeah, you don't know how things are going to help. Yeah, well, that's just it, man. It's just like, it's not going to help. Protesting never does... Protesting doesn't often do anything. There are some that have bigger impacts than others, of course. But by and large, nowadays, companies just ignore protesters. And rightfully they should, man. Protesters are just like social justice warriors. Like, they just get in the way of progress and profit. And I know that's gonna really make some people super, like, triggered, but it's true, man. The world doesn't operate on ideals. The world operates on profit. That's just what it is. So sorry, but you know, hate to break it with reality there, but yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, Prodigy Fit, for the follow on Twitter. Thank you so much, man. It depends on what they're destroying. Protesting is fine, but destroying property and hurting people, that's what, you know what, Joe Dub, I totally agree. Leading from peaceful protest to violent protest is not something I agree with. Absolutely. And I'm not a super hippie beatnik, but it's just the fact that the people who are normally attacked in protests are like very innocent bystanders who had nothing to do with anything and just happened to get caught in the crossfire. And it's really sad when you see that happen. The only protests that work when a company protests to a government, yeah, that's called lobbying, and that works really well. Yep. See, here's the thing. It's funny because it's like lobbying works. Well, it's not the lobbying itself that works. It's the money you throw into lobbying that works. Like, if it's kind of that way. But at that point, it becomes lobbying. Yeah, see, exactly, repeat entry. You got it. You're on the ball, man. But yeah, what do you guys think of the current state of America right now? Are any of you in America? How many... It's hilarious when you see people say, like, I'm going to move to Canada. Speaking of somebody, wow, that was bad. I don't know why. I just like spit all over my monitor. Oh, you got it. I was just typing. The thing about people, I'm in America. Oh, that's cool, Joe Dubs, man. What do you think about the current state of things? It's funny because people are like, I'm gonna move to Canada, and I think about it, I'm like, you aren't gonna move to Canada. One, Canada doesn't just accept people. while we might seem like the world's like, party whore, where everybody gets a turn if they just ask, that's not gonna happen. We have an incredibly tight legal process and customs process that you have to go through. You have to prove like, job offer, salary offer. It's at least a 6 to 8 month process if you want to come from America or Europe to Canada. It's not just an I'm going to pack up and go kind of thing. Unless you're somebody notable that we'd actually want here in Canada, you're probably not getting in. And second of all, trust me when I tell you, as a person who lived out in the US for 5 years, stay in America. It's not that bad. Believe me when I tell you, Amazon Prime outweighs President Trump and his crap wall any day of the week. Amazon Prime is great. Is in a very sensitive point. Look, this isn't a girl on her period, okay? God, you guys aren't that sensitive. The people are sensitive because the people are weak. Like, come on, let's face it. Let's call a spade here. Most of the people in America nowadays are so weak and so entitled that, 20 years ago, you never would have batted an eye at somebody like Trump running for president. But only now in 2016, when people are so PC and need so much catering, do you guys feel like you have to like have somebody like that? That's why Hillary looked like such a good option, was because she plays the PC game, the politically correct game. Whereas Trump is a product of an era gone by, where if you stacked him up, if him and Richard Nixon had ran against each other, or him and Ronald Reagan ran against each other, no one would have even thought for a second that Trump was going to be an absolute train wreck disaster. People would have looked at him as a product of the time, and that's exactly what he had to be. And nowadays, it's like people want everything to be catered to them. Everything has to be their way, and their style, and their time, and their convenience. And that's the problem. And that's actually why I'm not a Trump supporter. Do not mistake me for what I'm saying. I am not a Trump supporter. Okay? What I am, though, is I do admire Trump for the ability to go against the current of the times and stick to his guns. The guy wants to say what he wants, and he does it. Good on him. The guy wants to do what he wants, and he does it. While grabbing a vagina is not the best way to go about getting a girl's attention, doing what you want is something that allows it. I don't support sexual assault. Please do not get me wrong. That was wrong. But like, if I want to just go and buy a small bakery and close it down because they made me mad, hey, go do it. That's your choice, champ. NZ, our system is strange. The main party is well rooted as a more middle right, so the left can't get hold. It is terrible. I'm a Trump supporter that is not racist, sexist, or a person that hates gays. I can't voice my opinion because people are violent, pulling out of cars, beating people up on the streets, and there is much more incidents. And I get it that Republicans are bad apples, but we need to come together and stop the violence. Yes, I totally agree with you, Joe Dubs, 100%. So imagine Republican Party using Democratic ideas. You mean the original Republican Party? Because that's exactly what the Republican Party of Abraham Lincoln was built on. The Abraham Lincoln Republican Party was built on the ideals of a middle right, of financially Republican, democratically, socially democratically. And that's the way it should be. The Republican Party in the United States has become a giant Bible-thumping cluster that has just no right being in politics whatsoever. I don't care about the whole separation of church and state. I don't care about that. That's not even in your Constitution. But it's a matter of the fact that you shouldn't have church regulating state. Ever. This isn't the 1800s. This isn't the 1600s. I don't wipe my ass with my hand anymore. I shouldn't have to worry about some fictional spaghetti monster dictating to me what I can do. I'm not gay. Have I had gay experiences? Absolutely I have. But am I gay? No. You know what? And what I decide to do with my dick in my house is my business. No government's going to sit here and tell me I can't do that. And that is where my major problem with the Republican Party is coming from. Once again, I don't care about Donald Trump. What I do care is about the view that you personally are not allowed to do what you want. the whole fact that, and it blows my mind. Mind you, let's keep in mind, Republican Party is essentially majority old white guys. And I mean like really old white guys. Like old enough to be my parents, if not my grandparents, kind of white guys. And their stance on the fact that they think that it's okay to tell a woman who wants to get rid of either a rape child or just doesn't want to have a baby, period, end, that she's not allowed to do that. Who in the seven hells do you think you are to tell me that? Like, listen to me, hooker. If I want to get rid of the child, I'm getting rid of the goddamn child. You're not going to stand in my way. And this is kind of where the whole religion part is coming in, because it's the Bible thumping idiotic God, I'm trying to keep the show safe for work friendly, and it's going right off the rails so fast. And I'm not mad about the politics, it's just how I talk. But yeah, these Bible thumping neophytes are just standing, they're overstepping their bounds to an incredible level. And it's shocking when you see it. Let's put it this way. I was going to vote for Gary Johnson, but because I was being yelled at by the Democrats because I was not voting for Hillary, I'm giving my vote to Trump. And that means I'm killing America, so because they kept calling me names and telling me how to vote, I decided to screw and vote for Trump. Okay. Okay, let's talk about Gary Johnson, actually. I was talking with my dad today over lunch, and we're talking about the race. Now, in my 30 years of being on planet Earth, I saw the opposite in Texas. Okay, so in my 30 years of being on planet Earth, this is easily the tightest election I have ever seen in terms of voting percentages. Never in my life. Actually, give me one moment, guys. I need to go blow my nose really fast. Keep talking. I'll be right back. God damn it. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Gary Johnson. Say what you want, but it was pretty cool to see so many people come out and vote. Well, that's kind of a problem, actually, PowerVids, because if you looked at the stats that they posted for the election, people didn't come out and vote as much as they wanted. While it was a lot, the millennials really let Hillary down on that one. But I'll actually come back to that. I want to talk about this Gary Johnson thing. Because the election, if you were watching the states or the election coverage state by state from CNN, you saw that the votes were coming in 47.8 to versus 47.4. They were varying by only points of a decimal of each other. And that was like that in many, many states as an overall whole. While individual counties had one, blazing away from the other, the overall grand total was varying by 0 point of a decimal. And Gary Johnson, in every state that he was in, took at least 2% of the vote. Okay, so 2. So we had 47, 47, and 2%. And he split the vote just enough to cost Hillary Clinton this election. If you do the math, okay, and this is very, very rudimentary mathematics. This is not complex stuff. Because votes are done on a basis of 100%, right? 100%. At that point, all he had to do was drop out, and the entirety of the U.S. election for the 45th president of the United States of America could have very well been Hillary Clinton. But because Gary Johnson stayed in and split the vote against her and the other Democrats, he cost her that election potentially. I can't prove it, but we're pretty sure that's what happened. Let me see here. Well, I was going to vote for Johnson because I do hate both candidates, but after Trump spoke when he won, he said one thing I actually agree with the first time, and that both parties need to work together. Yeah, but that's never gonna happen, Joe. That's just not how it's ever gonna work. With NZ voting for smaller parties allows the kingmaker situation. This allows for these smaller parties to have good positions in parliament. That's pretty cool. And I miss Bernie. Yeah, dude, the Democratic Party, when they threw Bernie Sanders out, man, that was a bad call. Like a really bad call on their part. And they never ever should have done that. Hillary should have done the very smart thing and made Bernie her running mate, her for VP. If she had done that, that would have pulled, because she was trying to appeal to millennials after they kicked Bernie out. You saw the whole, like, I'm going to make college free and I've talked to Bernie Sanders and all this. But what she should have done was pull Bernie in, and that would have solidified the promise to millennials that you're going to get college for free. And that would have really given them the motivation, hopefully, ideally, possibly, to show up and vote. But the voting lines, I don't blame millennials for not coming out in the droves. If you had watched what California, New York, Chicago, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Florida, if you had seen the lineups for these election polls, I don't blame them for not showing up, man. I don't want to wait 3 hours in line. That's insane. Like, while it is my civic duty to vote, it is not my civic duty to be inconvenienced for 3 hours. Potentially lose 3 hours of an hourly paid job, which if you're making, say, $20 an hour, you're going to give up $60 to go vote? I'm not going to give up $60 to go vote. I care more about money than I do about politics. So, like, it's one of these things that it was a very poorly timed or very poorly handled election. Like, I thought they were going to have, you know, online elections and online voting. And I think in Canada, we have phone registered voting, but they didn't have that in the US. And that seems so broken. I live in Florida. We had early voting, so that's not really an excuse in Florida. You know what, though, man? You got to think, though, if you had early voting, but a lot of people either didn't know about it or they just didn't do it. Because you know what? That while you have early voting, that is a valid reason. Like you're saying, that is a valid reason to not have a valid excuse of why you didn't vote. Most people vote on election day. That's just how they like to do. Most people will show up on election day and they vote. And the process of handling voting was very poorly handled in the US. It's always been really poorly handled. They treat voting now like they treated voting way back in the day. I agree, early voting registration is great, but it should be online. It should be phone entry. There should be multiple ways for you to be able to vote for the president of the United States. I'm just saying. Like, you know, I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's kind of that way. Another question, why is universal healthcare so vilified in the US? Repeat entry, man, you got me. I have no freaking idea why they're so anti-healthcare. I remember I moved to Iowa, okay, and I remember this day. This happened 7 years ago, and I remember it vividly to this day. I was driving down the main street of the city I was in, and I saw like a crowd on the street. And I was like, oh, cool, what's going on? I'm in a new city. I'm very curious to find out what like local people do. And I see protesters. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Why are you protesting on like the main avenue of a city? And these people, there was a guy in a wheelchair with an oxygen tube hooked up with the tank next to him. And he said, stay out of my health care. And I looked at him. And in that moment, I knew Americans had no idea what healthcare was. They don't have a damn idea what good healthcare should look like. And it was mind-blowing in that instant of like, that is what happened. So, yeah. A good public standard healthcare is something to improve society. Oh, I totally agree. Canada might be a potato nation of potato people, but our healthcare is awesome. The only thing I think about healthcare is that there's some company making lots of money that doesn't want healthcare. Yeah, well, this comes back to that whole lobbying deal that we talked about earlier, where lobbying is such a big business for companies. Like, for somebody like Valiant Pharmaceuticals, they're a pharmaceutical company who decided to increase the price of one of their pills for heart medication by, I think, 5,000%. It was bad. They're being investigated by the U.S. Congress now, even though they're a Canadian company. They're being investigated by U.S. Congress. Lobbying is going to get them off the hook. Lobbying is going to get them completely off the hook by the time this is all said and done, because for a company that makes billions over billions of dollars a year, for them to spend $50 million on lobbying and, trying to weasel their way out of healthcare and legislation, that's nothing to them, man. That's like 1% of their income. They don't care. Sadly, money makes the world go round, and us non-elite people are screwed by the lobbyists. Exactly, Joe Dubs. This guy gets it. This guy finally this guy understands it. Yes, you're right. The laws are not the same for everyone. And they never have been, and they're never going to be the same for everybody. I know it sucks. That's why when it came to the email thing, I was very angry when the FBI decided to let Hillary off of the email scandal. Not because it's like, oh, crooked Hillary, but it's because of the differences in the way people are treated. Because she's Hillary Clinton and she's, Secretary of State and rich as hell and all this other stuff, she got off with nothing, not even a slap on the wrist. She got off completely scot-free, whereas somebody like you or me or Churgy would have been thrown in jail. We would have been butt raped by Bubba the Love Sponge or whatever his name is. We would have just had the book thrown at us. But no, because she's her, she got let off. And that's what made me mad. I don't care the fact that she had her own private email server. I don't care the fact that she put national security secrets out there in terms of putting national security secrets out there. I cared about the fact that she did it and got away with it. That's what bothers me. I am a very brass tacks kind of guy. I don't care how we get to the end point. I only care about the end point. But yeah, so there is that.
Friendship is only worthwhile if you get something from the other person. Food, sex, even consensual sex.
Little B, thank you so much for the subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate that, man. I don't even think Little B's in the channel right now. Why the hell is he following? But yeah, so there is definitely that, man. Keep talking. I have to quickly check one of my computers. I'll be right back. I'm just over here, actually. So, yeah. In the end, life is short to spend your time depressed on politics. Yeah, I agree. To let politics dictate your life is a very poor idea. Yes, this is my towel. The reason why is because, one, it protects my chair. Two, I sweat a ton because I've got 3 computers in this office right now. Let's talk about games. Sure, man. That's actually really different for this show. This show normally just focuses on, crap. But yeah, Dishonored 2 has come out. Yeah, man. Actually, I was watching Carnage play Dishonored 2 because it's not the kind of game I would play personally, but I'd love to watch because I love the story. And I gotta say, man, it looks like it's really, really good story. Fantastic for not poorly optimized game. Yeah, but that's true of a lot of games nowadays. That's true of so many games. In the fact that they're not optimized. In NVIDIA, I haven't seen NVIDIA berate me yet to update my NVIDIA drivers to optimize it for that. So I don't really know what to say, but I do feel you there, man. It really does suck that it's not better. Good story, better gameplay. Yeah, at least it's got better gameplay than freaking Tyranny. That's such a letdown. Tyranny is it has such a promising story to it, but by God, it's bad. It is just so cringy bad in terms of its gameplay mechanics. And I don't know why they went with the whole pause RTS style gameplay, but it's something if I could go back and tell them oh, please don't do that. Just make it Diablo style hack and slash or King or Titan's Quest hack and slash. That was the way to go, but not the way they went. Have you played both Dishonoreds now? Which one do you think is better? Do you think number 1 is better or number 2 is better? Have any of you guys actually played it? How many of you guys watched Hold Out Hope for Torment? What's that? Let me look it up here. Torment game. Torment: The Tides of Numeria. Date 2016. Let's look at some gameplay here. See, man, even this has a very similar look to Tyranny. Very, very similar look. And it's just not the type of thing I'm totally into. As much as I'd love to be into it, man, and now after the whole Tyranny thing, I'm just like really kind of like, I'm just really skittish about it. What the hell's this? Oh, that's OBS Studio. Okay. So yeah, that's unfortunate though, but how many of you guys watched BlizzCon last week? Well, I'm not going to cover any of the news because it's been covered to death. I do want to talk about the Overwatch League, because the Overwatch League looks really, really cool, and I think it's one of those things that if properly like nurtured, it could go real far, but if mishandled, dude, it is gonna like bomb into the ground, and it is gonna be awful. Fair enough. This is coming from an old fan of Neverwinter games. I can appreciate that, man, but it's just I just am a little bit more, you know, I like stuff to be a little bit more fluid nowadays. While I don't need the graphics to be AAA stellar graphics all the time, I do want them to at least, like, you know, be good enough where I'm not being burdened by trying to struggle to see what I want. If that makes any sort of sense. What the hell? Close that. Oh, God damn it. Adobe, why are you opening yourself? Like, my Adobe Creative Cloud just keeps opening itself and keeps sending out error messages like left and right. Hearthstone is fun. The choice to move to silly distraction is fantastic. Oh yeah, I think that was a great way for them to go, was to go with the silly distraction, or yeah, silly direction with the game. I think that's fantastic. Man, I'm so excited. I booked a new guest for Button Mash, my other talk show. Wow. What was I saying? Dude, I gotta show you guys this, man. This thing is something else. Oh, Jesus. Hang on, I'm gonna quickly show this on the monitor, so get ready. But yeah. Oh, God damn it. There you go. There you guys go. Enjoy that. Take it in, baby. Boom. And back to the show. Jeez, that's nice. No, man, I'm sorry. Dick pics incoming. Too much grim dark shit. Yeah, I totally agree. Dude, man, come on. You guys got to give it credit, man. That's nice. That's something to be admired right there. Oh God. Yeah, in terms of like the nature of the show, guys, I apologize for so many intermittent episodes. I know I've not been consistent throughout 2016 at all with the daily chat. I do apologize. Part of it burnt out, part of it just not wanting to, the other part of it just too busy. Like, I've been off of school since Wednesday. We got Wednesday, Thursday to Sunday off, and I spent the last 2 days working on a 4-question Java assignment for my programming class. So it's like, I just finished it today, so I'm like, oh, I can finally relax and take a breather and finally do like an episode. Which is fun, actually. I'm glad I'm doing this. It's something different. I can't believe I actually already killed almost an hour already. Like, I haven't even done anything yet. I've just been like BSing around with you guys. Gain money from the site I've chosen. Life isn't consistent, so streams can't be either. You know what? The way I always view streams as, if you want to be successful, you have to be consistent. But at the same time, though, if you're not doing it full time, your viewers have to kind of understand that it might not always be consistent. Like, that's kind of one of the things. It's like, it's this very precarious balance that you have to kind of walk on, that you have to understand that you have to hope that your viewers will stand by you when you don't do streams every day. But at the same time, you have to understand that they're expecting you to show up, and in terms of it's kind of an agreement where you are supposed to entertain them and they're supposed to entertain you back. It's kind of like, you know, like having a girlfriend. You're supposed to be there for them, they're supposed to be there for you. So yeah, I apologize for that, but I do know that, you know, I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'll get there eventually. So there's nothing else really like coming out. I wanted to go see a movie today to like celebrate getting all my homework done. And I realized that there is no movies worth watching right now. Like none. Arrival looks boring. I heard Shut-In is terrible. The next good movie coming out is, I believe it's called Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's based on like the Harry Potter universe. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think it's going to be cool. But I just don't know like really which way to like go with it. Like, is that something that you pay for? Do you pay for that? Doctor Strange is pretty good, campy fun. You know, I've never been a Doctor Strange fan. Not that I don't like Doctor Strange, I just don't feel he's a good enough hero for me to pay money for. Turn off brain and enjoy. Actually, if you want a great movie to turn off your brain and enjoy, go see The Accountant. I watched that the other night, and wow, that is a great movie to just kind of eat popcorn with. I just saw it's actually pretty good. I liked it, but tons of thinking in that film. Yeah, I've never been like a fan of having to think when I pay $17 for 2 hours of entertainment. I'm not paying to think at that point. I know that sounds like ridiculously American, like, you know, like a low level American, but it's kind of true though. I don't want my movies to make me think about the universe or like inject their political agenda into my entertainment. I want them to sit down and make me laugh funny, man. That's kind of how I view it. Is it a little bit dickish? A little bit. Is it true? It's true. Oh, gosh. My throat hurts. I might go for like 15 more minutes because I've already streamed for an hour and a half on my other channel. So I'm coming up on like 2 hours already. And most of it pure talking because Tyranny is no voice acting. So you have to read every single thing. So it gets long on the voice. So when they're watching 80s films, even Shockley ones fantastic nowadays. Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. You gotta love those kind of movies. They're great. 80s movies are so good for just unplugging yourself and just relaxing. You know, a movie I never saw was actually the original Die Hard. I might watch that tonight because I'm not going to bed. I might watch the original Die Hard today. That feels like it should be a good movie. Sit down and watch Virus and tell me the practical effects are bad. Oh, dude. I want to say I saw a movie review of Virus. Because that name is real familiar. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it, repeat entry. I'll definitely take a look at that. Because I'm always looking for like movies I've never seen before. Just like with restaurants, I always look for something new. So I never stay in a rut. I'm always changing it up. And I'm always trying to find something different. So, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at Virus, but I might actually watch Die Hard tonight. Like, is Die Hard 2 okay? I know Die Hard 1 is great. I heard Die Hard 2 is literally Die Hard 1 in another location. And Die Hard 3 is touch and go. So, yeah, like, I don't really know, like, how the rest of them are, but, like, Die Hard with a Vengeance is pretty good. I'm in the mood to watch Hackers. Oh, God. Hackers is so bad. Oh my god. It's bad but awesome. Think Borg but with body horror. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure then, man. I'll definitely take a look at it. So yeah, and then tomorrow I'll probably do a daily chat on the weekend. I have not done a weekend daily chat in over a year. Like literally since the time I started streaming in 2014, I have never done a weekend daily chat. So I might actually do one tomorrow just to kind of hang out with you guys and just kind of chit chat again. But I'm going to spend the entire day recording my getting started in streaming video series. After Hackers watch Swordfish. Yeah. Oh god, Swordfish, yeah. I remember when that movie came out. The whole scene where he pops out of the convertible is like, whoa, papa. So bad. So cringy. Yeah, if you guys have been on the YouTube channel, if you haven't already gone, click in the links below the video player, you'll see my YouTube channel. Follow there. I'm actually doing my whole getting started in streaming video series. So it shows a person who has never streamed before what software they need, what components they need, how to hook it all up. It's a great video series if you have like, if you have not zero tech experience, but like junior high, maybe coming out of elementary, like grade 6 and up tech experience. It's for those kind of people. So yeah, I'm going to be working on that all day tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get enough videos put out for the rest of November. I was hoping to get started on Wednesday, but that clearly didn't happen because I was working on my project. So yeah, there's that. I hate to say this, guys, though, but as you guys can hear, my voice is starting to go real quick because I've been talking for 2 hours straight. So yeah, I'm going to actually bail out, guys. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, though. Chirgy, Joe Dubs, man. Thank you guys for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. It's been awesome to have you guys in the channel, man. Go sleep, dude. Yeah, I might just sit back, watch a movie, eat some chicken because I'm starving at the moment right now. And yeah, man. But I'll probably be back tomorrow night. And hopefully I might actually have Devious Furball with me. So that'd actually be kind of cool. But yeah, guys, I'm going to bail out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already hit follow, if you haven't already followed, I believe now Twitch has moved it to the upper part here. Or maybe it's here. One of the two. You'll see something that says follow and has a heart. Click that. Helps me out a lot. And other than that, guys, also make sure you follow the Twitter channel and the YouTube channel. And I have been Little Rex. This has been Daily Chat 159. We did do an episode 159 before. And like always, I wasn't happy with it. So I just didn't put it up. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.